yeah. Oh, it's the mentors, it's the mentors.
Cut it.
Okay. Well, you left me hanging there, buddy.
Well, you know.
Welcome back to
The Mentors.
And this is our weekly segment called the 5-Minute Pick-Me-Up, where we tell you stories of entrepreneurs that we meet or just things that happen to us throughout the week to motivate you for the week to come. And today's episode is actually about our experience this weekend at a Russian/Turkish bathhouse, literally a block away from my apartment.
When we walked into the Russian bathhouse yesterday evening with a good friend of ours to help celebrate his birthday, we didn't expect that we would be leaving having spent $300 there.
Yes.
So why, Vadim, did we spend $300, and what is the lesson for the week? Well, I think there's actually a few lessons, right?
Sure. So first of all, let us tell you about the experience. If you've never been to a Russian or Turkish bathhouse, what we love about it, and we have a few core friends that we go there with, is it's really a community feel when you're there. It's incredibly relaxing, of course. You go to the sauna, you go into really freezing cold water, you can go into aromatherapy rooms, but when you're there, you kind of feel like you're part of a community, I guess, part of a group of people that also are experiencing this wonderful thing together.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's you might have seen a sauna in your gym or a steam room, but in this place, there's a bunch of different saunas that are really hot. There's buckets of cold water that you pour on each other. The Russians love to do that. Who knows why? It's a little sadistic. There are steam rooms with aromatherapy. There's an ice bath. It's like a big pool that is really, really cold, and you go in there. And so all these different temperature changes actually make you feel really relaxed. And I think the community feeling comes because everybody there is experiencing the same thing. Men, women, it's co-ed. Everybody's topless. It's like, what?
Well, also, nobody's judging you, right? Nobody really like, you don't care about what your body looks like. Everybody there is very different body types, different. So some people are hairy, some people are clean-shaven, some people are really in shape, some people are a little bit bigger. Nobody really cares. You know, I wore like my really short swimming trunks, and when I was on the way there, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm going to be a little bit self-conscious about that. But the European look, turns out, works really well over there, and other people looked even crazier. But the reason why we're talking about this today is not only to tell you about that, and if you ever want to try a Russian bathhouse or a Turkish bathhouse, you absolutely should. It's incredibly relaxing, but also to tell you about how we were treated by the staff there and why we ended up dropping $300 there.
So Russians are notoriously, I would say Russians' definition of customer service is a little bit different than Americans, where they don't feel like they need to be smiling at you all the time. And, you know, they would walk around trying to upsell, trying to ask if you wanted a special service, special massage. They like to beat you with these birch branches, essentially, which is supposed to be relaxing. Yeah. We've had it done. It's pretty cool.
But if you're sadistic, it's a really good experience.
Once you get past the cold facade of a typical Russian, that is not really a stereotype. Russians think it's strange that in America people smile all the time. Like, why are they doing that? Once you get past that, they're actually good people. Trust me. And what happened was when we were leaving, we were getting ready to pay, and it's not cheap. It's about $50 for the day. You can stay there as long as you want. But because it's a cool experience, you're fine paying it. And the woman said, "Do you guys have a card?" And I'm like, what do you mean, what card? Like, is there some special thing that I don't know about? And it turns out that if you buy this card, you spend $150 and you get 12 trips. So what would normally be 3 trips to this bathhouse, you actually get 12 for that price. And so it actually took us, I think, a couple times going to the bathhouse to even notice that this offer was there. But because we enjoy it so much and we know we're going to go multiple times and the offer doesn't expire, it was a no-brainer for us to spend the money, and it doesn't cost them anything extra to have us come and to service us because it's a self-service kind of experience.
So we were there with a friend, and it was his birthday, and so we decided to treat him, and we were paying all with one card. And I think she realized a few things. If we're paying all with one card, first of all, I think she saw us there before, so she figured, well, they're back, and so let me see if they'd want to come again. But because we were paying all together, she, in her upsell, was also being very flexible. So she realized that we were there as a group, we were good friends, and so she gave us these 12 trips distributed across 3 people. And because of that flexibility, we were that much more likely to say yes to this particular upsell.
And so essentially for $50 each, we were going to get 4 trips, and so the math just really worked out. But the lesson here is there's a few lessons. Number one, they made it really expensive up front where upselling was really easy because you get it's just a no-brainer of a deal if you're going to go more than once. And number two, they ask you, actually, every single time you're there, somebody's coming up to you trying to upsell you either on a massage, or, like I mentioned earlier, or like this at the end of the experience on buying a package. And because we were already people that enjoyed the experience, the upsell was really easy. So the lesson for the week is don't leave money on the table. You may be leaving money on the table if you're not trying to upsell. Figure out how you can price your product or service differently where you might have room for upsell because you may make a lot more revenue per customer. Now we're just going to go there more often because we got this deal.
Another takeaway is if you did the hard work of acquiring a customer and building that relationship, then your job is to try to have repeat experiences with them. And so they know that if we come back there again, they can either upsell us on the treatments or we buy food from them because they have a lot of tasty Russian food there as well, like pelmeni. And so they're going to make more and more money from us the more we come. And so their job is, okay, how can we get this person as a repeat customer? And if they did the hard work of getting us through the door, and if we're willing to pay the $52 up front, then let's figure out ways to give them more incentives to come back. So don't leave money on the table. If you're already engaging with some customers for a product or service that you have, figure out ways that you can engage with them deeper, upsell them, because if they like you, they like working with you, and they already bought services or products from you, there's a very good chance that they're going to do it again in the future.
So there you go, some free marketing to the Russian Bathhouse on East 10th Street. And that's it for the 5-minute pick-me-up. We'll see you later in the week.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.